standing on the promises of Christ my King. Through eternal ages let his praises ring. Glory in the highest I will shout and sing. Standing on the promises of God. Standing on the promises, standing on the
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time where you are. Welcome back to our channel, the Inspiring Catholic Youth. And today, you very well know that we are in preparation, or we are looking forward to the Vocation World Vocation Sunday. And here with me, I have Father. He will be engaging us into some conversation. So, Father, you're welcome to the Inspiring Catholic Youth channel.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we have some questions that we are going to put across, and Father will be sharing with us his story, no? So, Father, you're welcome. You can introduce and then share with us.
Thank you so much, sister. I'm called Father Nicholas Onyait. I'm a Comboni missionary. Recently celebrated just 2 years in the priesthood. Yeah. Now, my vocation story, especially to missionary, I think is one which is a bit incredible, because when I grew up, I didn't think about or know even about the missionary reality. Well, I was thinking I had a dream one day of becoming a priest, but it had never crossed my mind that I would be a missionary. Not until I met a Comboni missionary, Father Rufino Ezama, in 2005, who talked to me about the reality of becoming a missionary. But at that time, I did not have that urge, that passion, because I think it was a childhood dream that had vanished during my stage of adolescence and all that. Yeah. But having had this encounter with a missionary, it ignited my desire, you know, to think beyond the ordinary, to imagine a world outside there and not just a service within the place where I was born. And so this touched me a lot. And then eventually, of course, going through the journey as well, reading the life and example of St. Daniel Comboni gave me more inspiration and courage really to believe that this is the kind of life that God is calling me to. Yeah. So my vocation story starts way back. Well, I think the infancy of it all goes back to my early childhood days. And I used to love priests. I used to love their way of doing. Yeah. And unlike the ordinary children, one of the things I used to imitate while playing, when we are making plays, you know, as children, I used to love imitating the celebration of the Eucharist. Yeah. Wow. And I remember in my place we were using dry potatoes and as the hosts, and I wanted to be at the center, to be the one celebrating the Eucharist as a child. Never did I know that really that was already God was indicating for me something that He was going to call me one day to live. Sure. Of course, it is a beautiful story, but which doesn't mean that it was all smooth. No, because even having started this journey, at a certain point after senior 6, I felt that I should first go to university, then maybe come back. You know, I wasn't all that convinced. But when I went to university, I felt out of place. So after doing the course for 1 year, I decided to come back to follow what I felt my heart really desired to do. So I came back and joined the Comboni missionaries. I started my basic formation with the philosophical studies in 2010 up to 2013, and then I did a novitiate from 2013 to 2015. And on the 1st May 2015 is when I took my first vows in the novitiate in Lusaka. And then later on, I was assigned for theology in Italy. It was the first challenge there, you know, going to a new reality, learning the new language, the culture, and all that, you know, the shocks of modernity. But still.
Father, why Comboni? Why did you choose to join the Comboni Fathers?
Yeah, well, as I said in the beginning, among the different missionary congregations, first of all, I didn't know what it entails to be a missionary. So the first ones I encountered as missionaries were the Comboni missionaries. So it was like eventually this is the first congregation for me. But of course, later on, through the basic formation, reading through the biography of Saint Daniel Comboni, knowing who he was, his passion for Africa, his passion for the poorest and most abandoned, that made me feel much more at home and identify myself with this charism, which I feel concretely helps me really to live my life, to spend my life for the service of the people of God. Yeah,
thank you very much. So, Father, there are very many youth outside there that maybe in the conflict, they don't know exactly where is their vocation. They are really struggling hard to find, to see exactly where they fall. So, what advice would you give to such kind of youth?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, no vocation comes with really a vivid clarity that this is the surest thing I want to do. Sometimes there are obstacles, sometimes there are things that obscure your vision, a lot of challenges from within and without. But if one has a conviction truly that this is what I desire to live, this is what God wants me to do, eventually those challenges, what doesn't seem clear, comes to light, and then one begins to be convinced. But also, as in today, especially for the youth of today, there are so many voices, and sometimes in order to discern the voice of Christ, one has to be very daring, to learn to go beyond the current of the present world. They need to be more courageous. They need to understand that God is calling young people still, even now, to embrace this call. And the vocation is never outdated, no. Sometimes with the changes that are happening in the world, maybe a majority of the youth may start to think that, oh, but how can I, when everyone is opting for something else, why should I take this direction? No. It requires a certain audacity and courage in order to overcome this. Otherwise, let the youth not accept to bow down to the pressures of the world, but be courageous and still say yes. It is a beautiful life, full of fulfillment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Father has shared with us his beautiful story, and I hope many out there we shall be inspired by this beautiful conversation. Stay tuned and then wait for the next episode. Thank you very much. God bless you.